So Gigi Donnarumma has officially joined Manchester City. It happened a couple of days ago now, and I am absolutely buzzing for this transfer. And I really wanted to make a video talking about Gigi Donnarumma, how I think he could positively impact this Manchester City team this season, which is obviously, in the last couple of games of the season that we've played, has been a bit all over the place. We lost to Brighton, we lost to Tottenham, and it's not been a last couple of weeks to remember for Manchester City fans. However, I do think that there is a lot of room for optimism for the signing of Gigi Donnarumma, and I do think it massively could benefit us this season. And I know there are quite a few people that are holding reservations about Donnarumma to Manchester City at this point, but I just really think that Manchester City fans are maybe overthinking it a little bit too much, because I think a lot of people are trying to directly compare Gigi Donnarumma to Ederson, and obviously Pep Guardiola loves his goalkeepers to play out from the back. And people, I think, are looking at Ederson, looking at Donnarumma and saying, well, Donnarumma can't do any of the things that Ederson can do on the ball. And you're absolutely correct. He doesn't have the passing range. He doesn't have the composure. He doesn't have the touch. He doesn't have everything that Ederson has in terms of ball playing ability out from the back. But I think what a lot of people are forgetting is that all of the things that a lot of Manchester City fans for a long time with Ederson were complaining about his shot-stopping ability and all of those type of things, being a proper goalkeeper, that is exactly what we've signed in Gigi Donnarumma. And that is exciting because you look at, not just the Premier League, but you look at the Champions League specifically in those big knockout games where Manchester City typically have conceded maybe a soft goal here or there because Ederson is not a world-class shot stopper, and in the Champions League, you more often than not in those knockout games come up against top tier finishers who will take any chance ruthlessly that they get. And that kind of margin over multiple Champions League campaigns has cost us at times. I'm not going to say any differently, but with a Gigi Donnarumma in goal, this could be the difference in Champions League knockout games. This could be the difference in really key moments where Gigi Donnarumma, with that massive frame that he has, pulls off a save that maybe Ederson wouldn't usually pull off, and that keeps us in a game. That potentially wins us 3 points, potentially wins us a knockout game in the Champions League. And I think that that is something to be really excited by. And I know what people are saying in terms of the distribution side of things. I know why people are a little bit nervous because Pep Guardiola loves his goalkeepers to always be on the ball, be that 11th man in possession. Donnarumma isn't quite that. I'm not saying he's bad with the ball at his feet. I think it's maybe a little bit overstated by some Manchester City fans at the moment, but I can understand why there is a level of concern because he's not a typical ball-playing goalkeeper. But one thing I will say is that I do think when it comes to goalkeepers, first of all, I would say that, for goalkeepers, the main thing you want is a goalkeeper who's going to dominate his area and he's going to save shots, right? And Gigi Donnarumma has proven last season that he's capable of both of those things. And when it comes to ball playing, for me personally, the way I believe that, goalkeepers should operate is to only play passes that they know that they can play. And I think Gigi Donnarumma maybe has that experience over a James Trafford in terms of you look at the Trafford mistake against Tottenham. For me personally, that's not a ball-playing issue. I don't think that's an issue where James Trafford technically on the ball is not good enough. I personally think that issue for James Trafford was just decision making. It was a poor decision made from an inexperienced player in that moment. And while Gigi Donnarumma is 26 years of age, he's not a very old goalkeeper, he is vastly experienced. I mean, he picked up his 50th, I believe the stat is his 50th clean sheet at the age of 19 in the Serie A for AC Milan. So that is a goalkeeper that has plenty of experience, who's going to be a top-tier, world-class shot stopper for us at the back. And that, for me, excites me. I can't lie. It does excite me, the fact that we are going to have a goalkeeper who's going to be able to dig us out of moments in games with big saves. And we've not had that for a long, long time. And while I absolutely love everything that Ederson brought to the team in terms of his sweeping out from the back, the distribution, all of the things that I thought Ederson was absolutely phenomenal at, and at times very underrated by a lot of Premier League fans and even some Manchester City fans, Gigi Donnarumma is a very different goalkeeper, but he's the goalkeeper that maybe Manchester City need in this new era. A goalkeeper who is going to save some of those high percentage shots that we do concede, especially with this backline as well. Having a goalkeeper that you can rely upon to make a key save, to save a penalty in a penalty shootout, I think it's something that maybe Manchester City fans are maybe overlooking a little bit at the signing of Gigi Donnarumma. And then when you look at the finances around the deal, we got him for 35 million, a really good piece of business for a goalkeeper of his quality. We actually ended up paying more for James Trafford than we did for Gigi Donnarumma in the end. And I just personally think there's a lot of people that are maybe overlooking Gigi Donnarumma and what he can bring to Manchester City this season. I'm really excited for this transfer, and I think that this has the potential to give us real stability at the back. Having Gigi Donnarumma, personally for me, I think we should play a back three system with Kasanov, Diaz, Gvardiol all in there, with Ait Nori pushing forward. But having that stable back three, I think we need to have some sort of like strong backline which we can rely upon. I heard a quote coming out from Akanji on the reasons why he left to Inter Milan, and he was saying that, you know, the parts of the reason why he left to Inter was because he was told, alongside a lot of the other centre-backs at the club, that, you know, there's going to be a lot of rotation this season, it's going to be difficult to fight for your places, there's a lot of competition for those places, and for me that makes me a little bit nervous, I can't lie, because I do think that we need to find our best backline, our best centre-back partnership, the players that for me personally are going to keep us clean sheets week in, week out. You want a backline you can rely upon. And I think Gigi Donnarumma is a goalkeeper that we're going to be able to rely upon. He's going to be a goalkeeper that hopefully can stay for many years to come. He sounds like he's really excited to be at Manchester City working under Pep Guardiola. And I just personally think that maybe some fans are being a little bit too pessimistic about this signing. I think we brought in a world-class goalkeeper who for me is the second best goalkeeper now in the league behind Alisson. I think he's better than David Raya. And I think that we've signed him for a really good value. You know, we've replaced what was a world-class goalkeeper in Edison with a world-class goalkeeper now coming into his prime. He's not even in his prime yet. His best years are still ahead of him. And I'm excited. I'm really excited for the signing of Gigi Donnarumma. And I just kind of wanted to make this video to just talk about Gigi Donnarumma, the reasons why I'm really positive about his signing for Manchester City. Because there's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of apprehension from a lot of Manchester City fans around the signing at the moment because of its distribution abilities at the back. And as I said, I understand why people are making those arguments, but I personally don't think that they are as relevant as maybe some people are trying to make it sound. So for me, I'm really excited by the Gigi Donnarumma signing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you happy with the signing of Gigi Donnarumma to Manchester City? I know a lot of people are potentially, you know, upset about the fact that James Trafford was signed. Is it going to block his pathway to the first team? I don't think we should worry about that. I think we should focus on the fact that Gigi Donnarumma is a world-class goalkeeper. We needed a goalkeeper to come in and replace Edison. And unfortunately for Trafford, that's the way the cookie crumbles at times. And we never know. He could come into the fold at Manchester City in a couple years' time. He could become the Manchester City #1. You never know how football is going to work. But for me, I'm very happy with the signing of Gigi Donnarumma. I'm excited to see his first game. Is he going to start in the Manchester Derby? I think he will. So it's going to be very interesting to see him in the Manchester Derby, back from international duties. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of Gigi Donnarumma to Manchester City in the comments below. I'm excited. Are you? Let me know.